Great, welcome back for another review with Cosmo and Ariana. Now, the first thing I'll say about this one is where possible, let's try and approach the start article from an angle instead of straight on in the direction of travel that the track layer is headed off on. It's not a big deal on this one, as we can see here very early on, the track layer deviates very quickly off to the left. So there's still quite a bit of a problem there for Cosmo to figure out. It's just more of a habit I try to avoid and try to instill in all my tracks, that we always approach the article from a different direction so that the day comes when we do our double blind tracks that we're well prepared to approach them without any idea or sense of where the track may have departed from the scent article, and we're well prepared and the dog is well prepared to solve that immediate problem from the very beginning. Next, I want to talk about what we can observe in terms of pace, intensity, and speed and consistency that Cosmo is displaying throughout almost all of this entire track. What it tells us is that we've really got it right, so to speak, in terms of motivation with Cosmo. The age of the track, the motivation prior to the commencing of the track, the conditions in which you're tracking. Obviously there's still going to be a contamination in here, but the fact that we've only aged the track out 8 minutes for those of you playing at home means that it's actually a bit easier for Cosmo to be working this problem versus a track that's a bit older and a bit more advanced than what Cosmo is necessarily ready for. So by working a fresher track here with more motivation, it's really enabling Cosmo to work through a lot of problems that they previously experienced on the last one. Now, this next minute or so leading up to the end of the track is actually quite exciting, truly, despite the fact that we actually can see very little of what is physically going on. Now, there's two things that are really at play here. One, we've got a significant change of productive sources of odor. So we've gone from that really quite comparatively lush green area where odor is sticking to the leaves and it's almost brushing in Cosmo's face as they work. And then we've transitioned into dry, sparse vegetation, which in itself is still quite productive, but in a very different way. Consider this for some dogs almost like a changing gear in terms of how they process the information around them. It can take them a moment for them to adapt to the different scent picture. This improves obviously with time and experience. Now, the other interesting thing here, despite the fact that I'm not able to see anything, is I can pretty well infer that the significant change of behavior, pace, and I'm guessing a little bit of a tangle that Cosmo's gotten into here is entirely due to the fact that they've hit the track layer's odor pool, as we can soon hear and see just there. So be cognizant of that, be patient with that. Sometimes it's easier just to drop the leash, especially if you do know you're incredibly close to the track layer, just at the early stages so the dog can learn how to solve that problem for themselves. Okay, so let's summarize a few key teaching points for the moment so we can keep on progressing, because I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Number one, let's ensure that as we approach the start article that we try to do it from an angle and not straight on into the direction of travel where we do know where the direction of travel is. Two, let's keep the next track around a similar age it out in maybe about 10 minutes or so. I'm really pleased with the current weather conditions, Cosmo's energy, and so on, that this is a good age bracket for us to work at just for now, especially for the next one, maybe 2 tracks. Let's keep the conditions in terms of criteria pretty similar. So, you know, we can bump it out to maybe 300 meters. Yeah, this one had like a bit of a long sort of curve to it, almost like 2 corners. Let's try and put some more defined corners in there with our track layers. And also to just answer your question from the email, yes, please, wherever possible, let's get the overlays to go with the video. It really helps me to understand exactly what it is that's going on and give the most accurate feedback that I possibly can give. And finally, you know, there's a much improved location. Obviously, I am a perfectionist and I will always ask it. If we can try and get a location that is reduced in the amount of foot tracks or animal tracks where possible, that is best, but this is certainly a significant improvement from the previous location. And if you need to use this location again due to all the poor alternatives, then yeah, this is totally viable at the current standard and criteria of tracking that we're working with. So really, really happy to see such high motivation and Cosmo and some really, really good work. Also too, just want to say your leash handling was really nice on that one. When you dropped the leash and you recovered it, I can tell, whilst I couldn't see the dog, I could tell that you didn't actually jag Cosmo, so to speak, which was really, really good and exactly what you should aim to do always. So really nice work overall, Ariana. Loved it.